Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. Again, you're listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom, and my name is Natasha. And today I have a special guest, a queen, a friend of mine, and a co-worker. And what sparked me about Cassie? Say, hey girl.
Hey.
What sparked me about my girl Cassie? One day I was fishing through Facebook and I stumbled across her Facebook post, and it reads, "This isn't the end of my story, but I'm proud to say that I've hit my 1 year mark. 1 year of celibacy. This time last year, I was in a dark place, very low place with my ex. I told God the next person I give my body to will be my husband. This is major for me because at one point in my life, I had no self-value or self-love, but God. How many of us know that the blood still works? Listen, I was hesitant about wearing this shirt. I thought twice about getting it made because, like, who am I? It's many others that's waiting as well. But then the Holy Spirit reminded me that my story is my story. God will honor my sacrifice." And the shirt reads, "I choose purity." Yes, girl.
Yes.
Yes. So how does it feel? You done hit your 1 year mark.
Yes. It feels amazing. It feels good to know that I've conquered something that I never thought that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about it is that I did it off of my strength,
Right.
not off of the advice or what people had to say or the encouragement of others. It was just a self-decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like when you got tired of being sick and tired, you just do something
Right.
with it. So that was, it feels amazing.
I'm sure it does. Like, I'm super proud of you. Like, when I read that, it encouraged me not to be celibate, but
It's for your truth.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
But it's encouraging because I've thought about it before, but I've always felt like it was something that's, once you've started doing something, once something becomes a part of your life, you just don't know how to remove it,
Right.
And like you said, it takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So many times it has crossed my mind, but it's like, okay, I feel like I have sex for the wrong reason.
Right.
I do it or at sometimes because I feel like he's gonna like me more or if I don't do it, somebody else is. And then it becomes like a habit. Like, you get into situations, and then if it's somebody you like and see yourself being with, it's like, okay, we're just going to take it there,
Right.
And it just stuck out because you said, you found that value and that self-love, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we need to dig deep for that.
Right.
And I commend you.
Thank you.
For even becoming, that sick and tired where you can say, you know what, I'm not even gonna do this. I'm gonna wait.
Right.
Because me and my sister, I told my sister about your story, and not deep because I don't know your story like that, but I told her, you're my next guest and what we're going to be discussing.
Right.
And she was like, I waited. But then I was like, she was like, well, it's different, I guess, when you don't have somebody. Like, if you're not with someone, so when you wait and you're not with someone, is it the same as being with someone and waiting, like making a conscious decision?
I honestly think that it is a difference because when you're in a relationship with someone, it can be hard, especially if that other person doesn't have the same mindset as you, or if they don't want the same wants and desires. That's why it's good to be friends first with someone so that you can build a friendship and then know their wants and needs. So you can't get upset if he's like, hey, I didn't agree to you being celibate. I didn't want this. You wanted this.
Right.
So I think it's harder when you're with someone that doesn't have the same mindset. But when you're separate and you're single and by yourself, it can be more easier because honestly, that's you and God time. You find, your self-love, your self-respect, and your decisions isn't based off the next. It's based solely off you.
Okay, so with this journey, have you dated? Are you dating? Do you feel more comfortable remaining single?
I'm not dating at the present moment. I am single. I feel like I'm not ready to date, honestly. I want the attention. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel valued. But at this moment, I don't feel like me being dating, it's not my season. Because this journey wasn't easy and I haven't yet figured everything out yet.
Right.
So I don't want to get into something so soon when I'm still trying to discover me.
Right.
So
right. I
just taking it
understand.
slow.
So you're taking it slow. That's like, you haven't gotten it, you figured out, but you do at the same time. Like, you know, it sounds like you know what you need,
right,
and what you want and what you don't need.
Right.
Because I can see becoming close to somebody on that level when you're trying to not do something so intimate. I can imagine having someone so intimately in your life can kind of like fog what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about your story. Like, what led you to become celibate?
Basically, I got tired of living a lie. What some people don't understand is that secrets keep you sinning. And I'm just going to give a little background. Like, I grew up in the church. My great-grandma is a retired pastor. And I used to just go to church just to go.
Right.
But it's something about when you grow mature and you get spiritually mature, you're like, wait, I want God for myself. I want to experience what everybody else is experiencing.
Right.
So, just to back up a little bit, what led me to it is because my last relationship, we were both in ministry. We were both going to church. And I'm just like, wait, I'm tired of just going to church. And then I would go to church Sunday, but Sunday night we would go have sex.
Right.
Like, I got tired of feeling convicted. I got tired of going in the shower repenting. Like, Lord, I didn't really want to do this, but to make him happy, I did.
Right.
So one time, we was discussing marriage, and he was like, well, Cassie, you the one I want to be with. I love him. And I'm like, you know, the saying is, why buy the cow and get the milk for free? So I was like, well, wait, if you're talking about marriage, there's certain things that we don't have to do while we're dating them. We can wait to marriage.
Exactly.
So I told him, I was like, so I'm thinking about being celibate. And he was like, well, what if sex is a deal breaker? Now, to me, that struck me the wrong way, because I'm like, how can sex be a deal breaker when we're both spiritually, quote unquote, supposed to be living the same walk and thinking the same way? So when he said that, I was like, well, if sex is going to be a deal breaker, I have to let you go. Right. Because if you stay and I continue to have sex with you, I'm putting you before God, and that's not my desire. That's not what I want to do. So he stayed around. Months later is when I found out that he cheated on me. So he didn't just emotionally cheat. He ended up having sex with the girl. Right. And when she told me, she described the apartment, she described everything, and I was just blown away, like, how dare you? Right. You know, because you had option right there. When I gave you my disclaimer, you could have left, or you could have just been like, babe, I'm weak right now, like, what can I do? And I'm like, well, I'm still not giving you me, but at the same time, I just got tired.
Right.
So
I understand. Like, I just hearing it is just so strong. Like, making those decisions, because I think why it struck me, because it has crossed my mind so many times. It's like, when you go through stuff in relationships and then it's over, and it's like, you know what, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to give myself again, you know what I'm saying? But that strength, I haven't tapped into that strength to just say, you know what, Tasha, just wait and see, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Even if I don't want to wait until marriage, but just giving it time to grow, like getting to know someone on a different level. So this whole situation, like I said, speaks volume to me. So in your Facebook post, you expressed that you was hesitant to share your accomplishments. Like, why would, you know what I'm saying? Why were you so hesitant? Like, this is major.
I think I was hesitant because I didn't want people to think Cassie wanted an applause. I didn't want people to think that Cassie was seeking for attention. Because I'm a poster. Like, either I'm posting something spiritual or I'm posting something that I read that stuck out to me. So this particular day when I hit my 1 year mark, I didn't want people to be like, oh, Cassie looking for attention. Because I understand that I'm not the only one that's waiting. And I've only made it to 1 year. Just imagine the ones that's waited 3, 4, 5 years. I commend them, but I don't want my story to be that story. I don't want to wait that long, but I just didn't want people to think I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. And so God reminded me that, hey, your story is your story,
right.
and the journey that you took to make that decision was not easy.
Yes.
So how you know that someone wasn't inspired, or could be inspired by it, or someone is on the verge of wanting to be celibate, or someone wants to give it a try? Why not tell the little bit how the little time that you've been celibate has helped you, or blessed you in any area? So I didn't want people to think I did it for the wrong reasons, but when you get to the point where you don't care what no one thinks about you,
right.
and you don't care what they have to say, because people are always, when you do something good, they're gonna think of something bad. So talk either way. So if you're gonna talk, at least don't forget to mention that she was celibate. You know, so
exactly. I think I again commend you for posting that, because it encouraged me. It encouraged me. It made me feel like, dang, I know Cassie personally. I know things. We've discussed things, and just to hear this accomplishment, I'm like, wow. It's possible. It's possible to just sit back and kind of like just reflect on yourself and focus on, like you said, yourself and God, your relationship, And it also gives you an opportunity to become more comfortable with who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big. That's real big.
I think it's major too, because you have to remember that when you give yourself to a guy and you're not married, it's soul ties. So I don't care if it's a one night stand, or even if you're in a committed relationship with someone, if that's not your husband, your soul is automatically married to that person. So you can wake up angry and don't know why. He just deposited something to you. We're receivers, they deposit. Right. So it's like I could wake up and feeling some type of way. You don't know why, because that man just imparted something into you that you don't know where it comes from. You don't know what was in his generation to come, and what his, you know what I'm saying? So I got to a point where I know what some people remember the date they met someone or their marriage date. But I remember one time my pastor told me, he was like, it's good to always remember your divorce date. Remember that date when you said, I'm done of this. Remember that day when you said, I want to be free, I deserve more, I'm done with bondage. It's also good to remember your divorce date. So I remember my divorce date plain as clear. It was the day when we broke up. I'm like, I'm done and I want better. So soul ties was enough for me, because I'm an overthinker. And if we have sex and you don't call me the next day, I'm feeling some type of way. Like, who else you having sex with? Protected or not protected? We was emotionally involved.
Connected,
So you have to be careful with that as well.
That's so deep. And I've heard that particular saying about soul tie. I heard that before, that when these guys, you don't know where they coming from, you don't know what mood they in, you don't know what vibes they on, what energy, that energy transfers. And like you said, sometimes, and I'm not gonna front, I've been in situations where I've had sex before, and you just feel like, damn, like it's not like that feeling. Like, I have a question on here about like empty sex. It's just empty. You just gave yourself to someone and you don't feel no fulfillment because you didn't do it for the right reasons. I'm not saying this or speaking to say celibacy is something I will do or won't do.
Right.
But
you felt empty before.
I felt empty before.
And what did you do when you felt empty?
It's really nothing you can do but reflect on the decision you made.
Right.
Like, dang, I did this, but for what?
Right.
I did it because in that moment my flesh felt weak, but I really didn't have to. I could have prayed about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, once you make that decision and you get up the next morning, or you lay your head on that pillow that night, there's nothing you can do to take away from it, from that emptiness. You just have to let it pass. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to let that emptiness pass. But it's so many times you just do it because you, like I said, you feel like you need to, or you feel not really pressured.
You feel obligated.
You feel obligated because you're in a relationship, and you don't want to feel like, all right, boom, if I got this man, if I don't give him what he needs, somebody else will. And in the society we living in today, like, I've mentioned this before, being a side piece one time was like Me? A side piece? Like, it was something that you wouldn't even think of. It's like, nah, like you put the X to that.
Right.
But now it has become something that women accept.
It's so normal.
It's normal. It's like people singing about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's songs out here like, you on the side, I accept it, and
because I can get what I want out of you.
Exactly.
And then go home to her.
Exactly. Or not even that. Even as I think I read it somewhere, even a female said she's okay with being a side because she can get what she wants from the situation and send him home to his family.
Yeah.
She don't gotta cook. She don't have to clean up for him. She don't have to do his laundry. You know, you just have fun and move on. Or, you know, and we now live in a society that, I mean, I'm not saying, like, I just feel like it's even more pressure when you're in a relationship. It's more pressure to feel like you have to, because is this man going to wait for you too?
Right.
Is this where, like you said, you have to be in the same frame of mind? And it sounds like he was in the church itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're in the church as well, and I'm thinking we both on the same page,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's where my frustration came in at as well, because I'm like, we're in the churches, both of us, okay, no offense to anyone, but I can expect you giving me hell off of a nigga that don't go to church, or someone that's living life, the fast life, and not. I can expect that from him, because he be like, wait, Cassie, now you want to be selling, you know. But what happened to the same mind frame? Like, what happened to us touching and agreeing with certain things? So it was more frustrating because he didn't accept it. Right. And you didn't tell me that you didn't accept it. So it's kind of hard. It's not easy at all, especially when you're in a relationship, because, and I think I felt kind of wrong too, because I just decided one day without even talking to him about it. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to be celibate. And it's hard because he already had some of me. So how dare me to just cut this completely off? Right. But I said, wait, we're talking about marriage, right? So you're going to have me forever expedite the marriage process. Exactly. But I tell people, but God, because he will stall things on purpose. So he removed it for a reason, because 6 months later he ended up marrying somebody else. Were you completely out of love with Cassie, or you just got married to fill a void? So I said, God, I thank you that you took that off of my hands, even when I didn't realize it, or whatever. So but
that's good. You listened to yourself,
right?
And that's the thing that I feel like we neglect sometimes, is the fact that we don't listen to our inner self. Our inner self will be telling us, like, listen, stop. Yeah. You know, but you keep going. And that's why we most times end up in hurtful situations and things that we don't even want, because we don't listen to the things that from the door. You know what I'm saying? That's telling us, all right, boom, pause. Listen, he done said this, that's a red flag, but you look past it and keep going. But then I understand, when you made the decision to be celibate, you made that decision for you.
For me.
Right? But at the same token, it's both of y'all in the situation. At that point, we all have the right of choice. He could have made that choice and just went his way and let you go. You know what I'm saying? It may have hurt. It may not have been what you wanted to hear, especially the fact that you say he was in the church. But everybody got to make that decision for themselves.
Right, but then I also keep saying that he was in the church, but then I have to realize too that just because you go to church, that doesn't mean you have it all together.
That's true.
Because I hate when people throw the save card on me as well. Like, yes, I go to church, I'm faithful in church, but I'm still human. Right. My flesh is still alive. That's why the Bible says we have to die daily. We have to kill something off of us daily. So I don't want to just bash him and say, oh, he's this terrible guy. I forgot the fact that he was human. I didn't give him room for error. I didn't give him room to not. I didn't give him room to not accept it. Right. But he had a choice in it all. Right. I didn't force it on him. I honestly made a self decision for me, because we were not married. Even though you're dating, you're not. Even though you're engaged, you're still single because you're not married yet. So even though we were dating, we were still single because we're not married. So I did make a self decision, and I felt like it was for the better for him, for me. And then I came to the realization, like, dang, God, he done got married already. So you saying if I would have kept having sex with him, I would have been the wife? Because that is my dream. But God said, no, you did it for me. And you can't go wrong with him. And timing is everything.
Right. And when I say he was in the church, I'm not saying it to say because he was in the church, he should have been like perfect. Or, you know, I'm saying when you made that decision, I'm putting me in your shoe. If I came to the agreement within myself, okay, boom, you know what? I'm going to be celibate. I'm dating someone who is also not on the celibate journey, but on that spiritual journey. Right. You know what I'm saying? I would have felt that we could have talked about the decision and see how it worked for us.
Right.
But when I say you made that decision for yourself, it's a commend. Like, at the end of the day, even though you were already in it, you had to have known that this could probably be a deal breaker because y'all already have been intimate and it's being intimate, you know? But you chose yourself over a situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even though you knew you could have lost out on something, you chose God first and you chose yourself.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't do that every day. And these are things that we need to talk about. Yeah. Because it's like plenty of women out there that want to make these decisions. Mm-hmm. And even though you say like if you're 1 year and it's, you know, people doing it for 2-3 years, this is true. But just knowing that, dang, she made it to her 1 year, I could do it too.
Right.
This can motivate me because when you see somebody that's doing it 3, 4, 5 years, you thinking to yourself, a newbie that's probably thinking about it like, dang, that's a long time. Like, you know, it's encouraging, but discouraging when you're thinking of self and making a decision for you.
See, that's why, because I know I'm just going to say this nugget too. When I feel like whoever is trying to be celibate or desire to be celibate, why in a relationship? Because that's when I made my decision when I was with someone. Mm-hmm. And when I brought it to him, like you said, we had many times to talk about it or how it could be beneficial to our relationship, but we never talked about it. We never went into detail. I just gave the surface. Right. And so I still feel like to this day, a woman should not lead purity in a relationship. I honestly feel like that is the man's responsibility to lead purity. If you're going to be the head of my household, you need to be able to lead me in every aspect. And if you can't, that's fine. If in this situation, I was going to lead us in purity because his weakness was sex. He's a man. But at the same token, he didn't give me time to try to lead us. And not saying that I was going to wear the pants. It was basically like I could have encouraged you to where I am. Right. I could have gave you more reasons as to why I want to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just as an eye opener.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was just I feel like just hearing the story, it's just a hard decision period for both. Like you said, he's not a bad person. Like, we all out here doing our own things. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hard decision for both. But I feel like what we are missing out is communication.
That's the key.
Yes. We're not communicating with each other because, like you said, when you brought it to his attention, at that point, you guys could have either came up with a decision on how you can do it together.
Right.
Or, you know, everything is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that's not for him and you made the decision within yourself, like, this is for me, y'all could have let it go.
I would have respected that even more if he just would have said it point blank. Right. But to go back to what you said, when I met this lady and she told me, she was like, I've been celibate for 10 years. Hold up.
Yeah.
That's not my prayer, ma'am.
Right.
I thank you for telling me your story. So, like you said, it can be encouraging and then it can be discouraging at one time because I'm like, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have to also remind yourself that my story is my story. Your 10 years, that has nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
God can move for me next. So, God can move for me next year, basically. So, when you're saying that it can be discouraging, don't look at everybody's story because everybody's testimony is different. Everybody's journey is different. So, she could be a widow and not want to be married, but that's not me. I definitely one day do. So, I would say if it's something that you really want to do, have a made up mind and think about the results than the process, because sometimes the process can detour you or throw you off. But if you think about what's at the end of it,
right,
then it'll be easier.
And I think that's what it is for me. Like, I'm thinking about the process, like, and I'm thinking about, like, I've always been a person, even though after my youngest daughter's dad and I, like, you know, broke up, I've taken the time, like, just to kind of, like, chill, you know, like, reflect. Like, as you saw when you came in, I made that little starburst. Remember, that was something I never even knew I could do. Like, that was something, I don't even know where that came from. Right. But in the process of, like, reflecting and trying to find out who I am, I found out that I can do some amazing ass stuff. Like, I got things inside of me that I just never even knew, but because I was so caught up in wanting to be in a relationship. Because like I said, when Talene and I, our episode, my Dear Mama episode, I didn't know who I was outside of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wasn't in a relationship, I didn't know who I was. And it was like, there will be so many things I want to do. Like, I'll be like, you know what? I want to go to Crane's Roost and walk around and do a picnic. But then I would think about wanting to do that, but then I have to wait. Like, oh, you know what? I'm going to wait till I'm in a relationship. I wouldn't even just do it, like, with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just do it. Like, that's something you want to do? Just do it. Like, if I'm not, like, again, in my Dear Mama episode, Talene asked me, like, what got you out of that? Like, if I wasn't in a relationship, I would mope. I would be laying around the house. I would barely do anything because I felt like I couldn't do. You know, like, what am I do? What is there to do? And then I don't want to do this by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I really had to take the time to kind of, like, reflect. Like, I'm still on a journey. Like, I'm still on a journey of trying to figure out, like, who I am and what I want. I have a clearer understanding, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work to kind of tap into that inner you.
Yes.
And it's so much that your inner you is telling you, like, even with dating, I listen to myself more now.
Right.
Like, I've been hurt while I've, you know, found myself. But the thing is that it hasn't been a prolonged hurt of me just continuing to hurt myself. Because, you know, that's what it end up being. Like, we cry and say these guys hurt us. But no. You hurt yourself, because when you are going through things and you continue to allow yourself to go through it, at this point, it's not the guy. It's become you. Because you see what's going on. You see the pattern, but you continue and continue and continue.
That's true. And I call that, what I had to do too was stop rehearsing the hurt.
Yes.
You have to, because we have a choice. And I didn't know I had a choice. But when I found out that I had a voice in a choice, I was unstoppable. I choose to be happy. I choose to not stop thinking about how he treated me. I choose to stop thinking about how he moved on so quickly. You have a choice. Right. So every day, knowing that you have a choice, you speak life.
Exactly.
Stop rehearsing the hurt. And I can totally agree with what you said too. Like, because after that breakup, Tasha, I've always been into modeling. But I'm telling you, after that breakup, I started getting gigs. Like, my aunt, she has a plus size clothing line, and I model for her. This lady hit me up, hey, I need you for this show, or I need you for that show. And I found my happiness on the stage. Like, if I was in that relationship, it would have been based off, well, babe, I got rehearsal tonight, or I would base off how he feels. Right, exactly. You think I should do this show? You think, it's a free gig? Right. I do it for free. I love modeling. You know, so, but I think with him, I would have based it off him, and then with him, I gained so much happy weight. I don't want to ever do that again. Right. So I didn't even notice how much weight I gained until after we broke up. Right. I was up to like 250. Wow. Now why? Because he liked to eat, and I did what he would like to do. Right. And my whole thing was, if you happy, I'm happy. So my happiness was based off of his energy, his vibe. But my pastors always tell us that your mate should come in your life and make you happier. You should already be happy. Yeah. Right. So I found myself getting in more modeling gigs, and I found myself actually doing stuff with DJ. I love Lake Eola, but I would only go to Lake Eola to watch the Swan with him or to walk around and talk about life. I would never go to take my son to the park.
Right.
Why not? When we broke up, I took my son to the... It's the simple things, but I lost me.
Right.
And you can't lose yourself.
Exactly.
And then you have to also, what you said was, when you were single, you didn't know what to do. I was the same way. I thought my life was over. Who gonna want me now? I ain't giving up no sex. This is gonna be hard. But I learned and I realized that you have to make your singleness a passport and not a prison.
Yes.
You can't feel like your life is over. You have to go do something that you've never done. Even recently, like 2 months ago, the women at my church, the Lord was just saying, get some women from your church and get the singles and y'all go to fine dining. There's no way. If I was with him, he'd be like, babe, you know that's pricey. You know we ain't got it like that. I can cook for you. But the Lord told me to get these group of women, and we went and we dressed up and we put on makeup. And when I tell you, I said, look, ladies, we're going to treat singleness from now on as a passport. We're going to do things that we never thought that we can do or we had to wait on a man to do.
Exactly.
When I tell you, Tasha, I felt like I ain't even have proper table etiquette because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I was just like, y'all, elbows supposed to be on the table and not like, but we felt so good as women to just dress up and go. You can have fun in your single life. It was hard. It's still hard for me because I have my moments.
But
you
it's
have
a journey.
To make the best of it.
It's a journey, you know, and at the end of the day, it's your journey.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, like, I agree, like, being single this go round, I have done so much, Cassie. You don't understand, like, I have done so much, and it's like, dang, it's so much out here to explore. Whether, I mean, when I went ziplining in, when I went to Tennessee with my, all because of a man family, and we went ziplining, girl, it was one of the zip lines, the scenery was so beautiful. When I was ziplining and I was screaming going across that zip line, I felt like, oh my God, I'm living. And thinking about it right now and just putting myself, it's like, I'm feeling emotional because at that moment, I will never forget. Like, I have a picture that we took where they wanted us to, like, be on the bridge and jump up in the air. And I post that picture on social media and I said, this is what happiness looked like. I was grinning from ear to ear. Everybody else was grinning, doing things. Everybody was in the opera. But the picture, we were so happy in that moment. All you saw was happiness. And all the things that I've been experiencing in this last 2 years, it's been like, yo, I can do this.
Yes.
You know? I can do this with someone or without somebody.
Or without.
You know?
Right.
Because I struggle with loneliness. I don't like being alone. It's like, yo, you got to be alone.
Right.
And it's like, nah, just stay.
Yeah.
You don't want to be here, but just stay. Because, you know, the thought of being alone is like, I can't.
I agree.
But who are you now as a woman? What do you want?
I've come to realize that, and like you said earlier, it was like you couldn't tell who you are, explain who you were without saying I'm a mom. And I remember one time my pastor was like, tell me who you are without telling me what you do. I couldn't do that.
Right.
But recently, and it's such a beautiful thing. See, God does things in perfect timing because He knew I had to discover who I was before you even asked me about this episode. But I'm not my past. I'm not my pain.
Yeah.
And a little bit, not to go deep, but I'm not my mother. And I say that because my mom was on drugs and her weakness was men. Right. And people would tell me growing up, you look like your mama. You look like your mama. So in my mind, you speaking that to me, I need to act like my mama. Right. So it would be days where my mom would lock us outside the house when she had company. So we couldn't go inside the house until her company left. Ooh. And it was days when we were able to stay in the house. Because I'm the baby of 4 kids, and I can remember her having company. And me back then not knowing what she did, but my older sister knew what was going on. I can remember sitting outside of her door, knocking on the door like, Mom, I'm hungry. Not knowing that Mommy got company in there. So all my life I seen men and women leave my mom's life, and I just come to realization that those were just generational curses that passed down to me. I didn't have no self-worth, no self-love. I didn't know who I was. I didn't care. I just wanted love from any and everybody. You like me? Oh, here we go together. You want my number? Oh, you my man. No. So I didn't know me, and I'm proud to say now that I'm not this abandoned, rejected little girl.
Yes.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am what God says that I am.
Yes.
I am the head and not the tail. I am beautifully broken.
Right.
Like,
Amen,
all
girl.
of that for purpose.
Yes, I love it. As my friend would say, tell that little girl to go sit down.
Listen.
When you get in that feeling, like when you start, sometimes I gotta catch myself. Like sometimes I do it now, you know, where I start to come out and I'll be like, nah, Tasha, tell her to go sit down. She is of the past.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You're trying to move on in a greater direction.
Yes.
Don't be needy. Don't be needy. Sometimes, yo, girl, that needy.
Listen, Taj.
That needy has tore up so many situations that probably could have been. You know what I'm saying? But don't nobody want nobody that's needy. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody want that. And I'm not saying all of this to say, because I got ways to go.
Yeah.
But the fact that I know, you know what I'm saying, that I need to make these changes is great, because I'm really working on myself here.
Good.
Like, I'm really working on I mean, celibacy probably not the main focus right now,
it's
but I feel
something.
like it's a start.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just figuring out and maneuvering, being able to look in the mirror and say you are beautiful.
Yes.
You know, like, and just to know that I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm single. I may have friends. I have people that's in my life, but I'm single and I'm happy. And when I do, and if someone becomes a part of my life that's like, okay, we solid.
Right.
You need to add to this happiness that's going on right now.
Yes.
Because I have found, so even this podcast has been a journey of me finding who I am.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's good.
Girl, and you know what? As women, we just need to keep encouraging each other.
You have to.
You know, like, we need to keep encouraging each other. I need to come to you and say, Cassie, how you doing? Like, how is it going for you with your journey? Like, we need to keep, each other reminded of what the end result is.
That is so
you know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing we don't do. You know, as women sometimes, we talk about Cassie probably not even waiting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, Cassie probably out here trying to, you know what I'm saying? Instead of encouraging and being that support.
Right.
Like, that's what I was saying. Like, one of my questions is, do you have a strong community of women in your life?
I do. And that's the beauty of it. Tasha, we all need accountability partners, and that's what I call them. You need someone that will empower you and not enable you. Like, you need someone that, accountability partner is basically someone that's not even on the same level as you. Someone that's done or did what you've done and that's on the next level that you're trying to get to, whether it be finances, emotionally, spiritually, the family type of life, or whatever. So it's always good to surround yourself with people that, even if they don't always agree with what you're saying, but they can help you make sense of what you're trying to say. So I definitely have, like, the women at my church, it's like 6 of us. And when I tell you, every day we're either speaking of God, we're encouraging each other, or like we're uplifting each other. If I have a week, it's still good to know that you can be vulnerable and open with someone if they not judge you.
Right.
If I text one of them now, because we have a group chat, and I say, y'all, I'm feeling weak, I want sex, this one year has got to me, God ain't moved yet, I guarantee you all 6 of them is going to come with the same thing. No, you're not.
Right.
How is that going to make you feel tomorrow?
Exactly.
Like, why are you feeling like that's just the end? So it's always good to have someone that's uplifting, encouraging in your life outside of your family. Because you feel like that's what family's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But someone outside that can just give you that extra push when even you don't feel like going on, it's just amazing.
Exactly, yeah. That community, that women, I'm starting to learn having a strong community of women is important.
And don't be afraid to be naked.
Right.
Tell your truth.
Right.
Tell your truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Give it what they say. Give it a chaser. I don't even drink, child. What they say? Give it a drink with no chaser or something. I don't even know, but just be vulnerable, be open, be naked, and be willing to receive what they have to say. Because if you have someone that's always agreeing with you, that's the issue.
Not right. That's
right. Not right.
It's not. Yeah. And with my best friend Allison, you know, she's that person. She doesn't agree with everything. She will tell you, and we have many a nights we have conversations, and I'll be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But when I lay down, I'll be like, you know what? At the end of the day, she's giving me the real.
See?
She's not just saying, yeah, Tosh, you know, like, yeah, that's a good idea. Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, I don't feel like, you know, this is a good idea, or no, girl, you need to cut it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you deserve better. You know what I'm saying? And maybe at that moment you don't want to hear, like, cut it. You know what I'm saying? And to cut it, what you mean? Like, I don't put, you don't want to hear that, but at the end of the day, it'd be the real.
It'd be what you need.
It'd be the real, like,
that's the best part. Because I don't want a friend that's just going to go along with me. Why are you my friend? You're not a dummy.
Exactly.
No, you're not my robot. I need you to put me in my place.
Exactly, when necessary. Girl, it's hard out here in these streets, but what did you expect being celibate? What did you expect being celibate to change in your life?
I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was taking a risk.
Right.
And I felt like it was a good risk because I'm just like, Lord, I had to remind myself, to get something that you've never gotten, you have to do something that you've never did.
Right.
So if I'm tired of rehearsing the hurt, and if I'm tired of this same story, because obviously me repeating everything and give me what I want now, so why not do something different? So I felt like it was just a risk that was well taken. It really was.
Okay. And what is the most important thing you've learned through this 1-year journey?
Self-love. Love you enough to say no. Love you enough to know what you deserve, not just what you desire. Just because I haven't experienced that guy yet or that man yet, that doesn't mean I don't deserve it. So love yourself to know what you deserve, and know that it's possible to get it.
I like that. I really feel like, Cassie, I just like appreciate you coming, because I feel like these are things we just need to hear. These are conversations we need to have as women. You know, that it's like, I'm telling you, I can feel it already. Like, someone's going to hear this story, hear this episode, and feel like, you know what? I could do it too. You know, because it's the hardest thing once you've already been doing something. You know, like I said before, you're already having sex. Like, all right, now you know what it feels like. You know what it is, you know? So to just take it out is like, oh, that's like a little bit.
It is. That's why you have to, it's a mind thing too. And that's why you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right. That's the beauty of it. So.
Well, let's both take the time to reflect on some decisions we made in our dating life for the wrong reasons. Like, what are some of the things you can...
I've dated... Every time I dated was for the wrong reason. It was to fill a void. It was to feel lonely. To feel a void of being lonely.
Right.
And I grew up being a people pleaser. So I dated. I honestly bought half of my men, Tasha. Honestly, when I say buy, you hungry? You straight over there? You good? You need this? You need that? And I didn't even know I was buying them. Because what if they didn't really want to be with me? But I know Cass could come pull up on me and give me what I need. So let me just keep her around. No.
And that is the mentality. Once you become that person in their life, like, oh, if I, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need this, you good, you straight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think I dated for all the wrong reasons.
I agree.
Being a people pleaser, just to do whatever I can to keep him.
Right.
And what about me?
Right. And I think for me, because everybody has their struggle. Like, I personally, like, I've always been, like, I've gained a few pounds, and I was severely underweight. At least I thought so.
Right.
That's because I was never focused on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm focusing on dating, and when things go wrong, girl, I can't eat, I can't do nothing because,
Right.
you know, life is like just drastically over. But for me, yeah, I dated for all the wrong reasons because I felt like, man, I'm super skinny. If somebody come, they want to be with me, you know, it's like I'm gonna hold on to it because when I'm, you know what I'm saying, am I gonna meet somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't happy with who I was. I wasn't satisfied with who I was. I didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, you know, you meet somebody and you're giving yourself and you're doing all these extra stuff.
Right.
And why? Because I didn't feel I was good enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like you said, my worth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just skinny. Everybody is like curvy and nice, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm here about this bag of bones.
Right.
And I'm just like, you know, when somebody come, you know, just hold on to it. Like,
don't
shit.
let it go, 'cause you don't know when it's gonna come back around.
Exactly. Like, you hold on to it. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen next week. Girl, yes. I'm dead serious. It was like, but now, you know, it's not even about, because I'm still skinny, so it's not even about
Girl, you look good.
the few. Thank you, girl. I worked hard for these little pounds. Girl, y'all don't understand. Let me tell y'all.
It was real.
It was real. Like, I worked hard. I'm telling, listen, I was on a mission to gain. I gained like 30 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm still skinny with 30 pounds. So imagine, like, people forget, like, somebody was like, dang, Tasha, you said you gained weight. I said, yeah. He's like, nah, you
I remember telling you that.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you was one of the
Tasha, I need to see a before and after. And
girl, I showed you that before. Yo, people, it happened to me the other day. I showed somebody the before. They was like, oh, yeah, you gained weight. I'm sorry. I was like, yes. Granted, I'm still skinny. I'm still skinny. However, I worked hard for these 30 pounds. I was in these people's gym, everything. But at that time, I was learning who I was. I was finding that worth. I was like, you know what, Tasha? You not dating. So guess what? You know, normally I would just not eat. Wow. Just not. You know, it was like, I'm stressed out. And some people, they consume food when they stress. Yeah. When I was stressed, I couldn't eat. It was like I was full off of the confusion.
Wow.
Yes, it was like, it's like I would have to force myself. It's like, okay, Tasha, you know you ain't eating nothing all day. So you gotta eat something. It's like I literally had to, and even when I used to try, it was like my body was hungry, but I was so full off of the confusion and the hurt and the disappointment. It was like I couldn't eat.
Tasha.
And even now, like, if I get to that place, I have to really that's why I bring my snacks. Mm-hmm. I bring my stuff because I don't ever want to go back there. Ever.
Depression.
Yes.
I'm the opposite.
Real.
I eat.
Girl.
I think that's why I told you I got up to 250 because I ate myself away. Like,
girl.
Because when I'm depressed or down, I feel like food satisfies me. But no, you have to remember that our body is the temple too.
Exactly.
Take care of it.
Exactly. So it's the reverse. I have to realize, like, listen, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. Wow. I remember one time. I was going through a breakup with my youngest daughter's dad, and I wasn't eating at all, girl, like barely. Wow. And I remember Alicia. Remember Alicia?
Yeah.
I remember, girl, one day I was working, you know, at work, I would munch a lot. So at the time, people think, yo, she be eating all the time. But, it'd be like small munches, and it'd be seeming like I'm eating all the time. So I remember one time I was walking somewhere, and that was right after I had Sky. So, most people got like a little pudge, a pregnancy pudge, even if you skinny. Girl, she was like, girl, y'all stomach is empty. Do you eat?
Wow.
Like, and I just was like, dang. And I was looking like, nah.
But you needed to hear that.
I needed to hear that. I needed to, girl. When I say I had just had Sky, when I started gaining weight, that pregnancy pudge literally came back. Wow. It was there, but I was not eating right, that I was just flat. But it was like no self-love. It was like, Tasha, what are you doing?
Because we get to a place as females where when we don't know what we deserve, we feel like good is what we deserve. But how you know we don't deserve greater? Don't get
Exactly.
stuck with just good.
Right.
We deserve greater too.
I think,
so.
and it's the biggest fear. Like when you have that fear of being alone, that's the thing. It's the fear. The fear of being alone.
That's true.
You know, it's like, dang.
Because to me, I'd be like, dang, you done messed up again. Or you by yourself. Like.
But you know what? Don't nobody, I read these, I've been doing some research, I read these books. Don't nobody want nobody that don't know who they are. Like these men, they will have sex with you. They will probably feed you with what you want to hear. But baby, if you don't know who you are, these men, they be knowing.
They be knowing.
They're not as verbal as we are. Like we verbalize everything or
Yes.
feel like we need to. I'm even trying to work on that too, where I don't have to say everything that's on my mind. That's a struggle too, girl. Because when I feel like something on that brain, I be having to tell it. And I'm working on that too. Like, Tosh, you gotta. It is power in silence.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not everything you have to let off your chest.
Right.
And girl, I'm trying to tell you, it's like, girl, I don't know. It's journeys over here, but I think they be knowing.
And you have to know your self-worth. That's why I'm saying, like, it's best to build that foundation of friendship. First, it's best to know who you are. So when you get with someone, it's certain things I ain't gonna accept, it's certain things I'm not gonna do. And no, you're not gonna draw me back to my past, and you're not gonna dig up this little girl that I felt like I conquered inside of me. Because my little girl in that was inside of me needed attention.
Right.
I needed validation. If you didn't tell me I was pretty in this, I need you to, babe, why you didn't tell me I was cute? Everybody has a little girl and a little boy inside of them. But when you grow up, that one day has to die.
You have to silence it. You have to silence it and know that, listen, you're more than that.
Yep.
Girl, I love you for this, Cassie. I love you for this. What is great about you today in this moment?
The best thing I can say, my mind, because to renew your mind and everything starts with the mind. I'll say there. When you make a right or a wrong decision, you have to first think it, and then you're going to react on it. So I just thank God what's best for me right now is the renewing of my mind of wanting change and wanting better. And even if I don't know what the end result will be or how long it will take, it's the fact that I now know.
Right.
And I can hold myself accountable of, hey, this is what you're not going to do. This is what you are going to do. And even the fact of the type of relationships that I was in, it was so much dysfunction. I got used to dysfunction.
Right.
So when someone acting normal and someone doing something right, I was like, wait, I was looking for something to go wrong. I felt like something bad was about to happen, but now it's just like, no. Why can't something go smooth for you?
Right.
You are deserving of it, but
right.
you have to first think it.
Right.
So when they think it, so is he.
Yes.
So it's my mind.
Yes, Cassie. So my last question to you: if you could tell the old Cassie something, what would it be?
Girl, what? Like, I would tell the old Cassie that she is worth it. You are worth the wait.
Yeah.
You don't have to be pressured for attention. You don't have to be pressured by a temporary feeling. Like, who wants that? You deserve long love, happiness permanently.
Right.
He didn't die on the cross for us for nothing.
Right.
I mean, he didn't die for you to be a side chick. He didn't die for you. But it's, like I said, it's the mind and it's about the choices.
Right.
So I would encourage Cassie, honestly. And I would allow her to know that if you knew what God had waiting for you on the other side, you would be in a race to get it.
Right.
So it's so many things that I would tell her, but basically just to encourage, because I didn't have that at the home. Right. My mom or my dad wasn't there. So to hear it from the outside, I was seeking for that. Right. So if a man tell me that, it was a wrap. So I would tell her that she is worth it.
Yes, Cassie. And again, I can't thank you enough for telling your story, because, sometimes it's hard to let and tell you know, the deep things, the things that you know, you're going through or that you're working on. It's like that vulnerability.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you again for coming and sharing your story. It's so encouraging to hear everything that you have to say, even for me, because like, as I'm on the journey, there's so many things that I'm battling. And just hearing your story and hearing the transition, because I knew the old Cassie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. And the situation at work.
Yes.
I didn't know me.
Yes.
And it was to the point where one of the coworkers even told me, like, I'll say a couple of months ago, she was like, I didn't know this, Cassie.
No.
I said, because y'all was my crutch.
Yes.
And that situation, that was a dark place too, but I accepted it. And it was, Tasha, it was right in front of my eyes, and I was still blinded. Because when I went back to my desk, I got a text, babe, you know I love you. You know it wasn't
exactly.
what I'm like, it was right in my face, but then he'll come over that night, and what we do. So the next day at work, everybody looking at me like, Cassie gone, but no, you don't know who he was with last. He was with me. You know, so that right there speaks volume. So when she told me that, I was like, God, I thank you, because if they're watching for the wrong reasons or not, people are watching. So the fact that people see my growth, that's just amazing, because it's like, that's a compliment to me to keep going. I mean, just thinking about it, if you can love the wrong person that much, just imagine what you would do with the right one. So when she told me that, I was just like, oh, thank you. Because it took me, and it's okay. Some people don't like to remember their past. They don't like to remember what they've been through. But when she took me back to that place 2 years ago with that guy, I was like, don't forget where you came from, because it reminds you as to why you're here today. And it was all a part of the process. It was
all
painful
of it.
purpose.
Trust me, I saw and I see your transition. Like, I see saw where you came from and see where you're going. And I am like totally proud of you. Like, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Like, this is major. It's big to come into a place where you're finding your happiness and finding out who you are. So this is like so much encouragement, you know, even if I don't choose celibacy. But at the end of the day, just to know that it can be done. And even with the process of working on myself, mentally, day by day, I'm working on, if I choose to make that decision, I can be in a mentally ready place. And if I chose to do that, you have given me some tools today as to how I can make those choices.
Feed your spirit.
Yes.
Because it's not easy. And and when you say, Tasha, I don't want anyone to feel like they're obligated or forced to be celibate. With me, this was a spiritual thing.
Choice,
It was a spiritual thing, because I want what God wants for me, and I want my wants to be lined up with God's will. Like, and so it was a spiritual thing for me, because I'm like, you know what, I need to talk more to God than of God. And so it was to the point where I'm like, oh, this is not about me, because Cassie wouldn't have made it. Because I love intercourse. I don't want nobody to ever think that it's not disgusting. I enjoy it in the moment, but it's the after feeling that
emptiness.
I mean, I love it. It's not easy. It's hard. And celibacy may not be for you, and that's perfectly fine. But choose something that works for you, and you do what you do with what you can.
And that's it. And I feel like that's what I'm doing now. But the reason why I say that, because I even got the book The Wait from Megan Good and her husband, because I really have thought about it. But you gotta be in a mental, you gotta be in a certain mentality to make it. And because I'm still working on those things, those neediness and those wants, even though I'm far from the person I was 2 years ago, I'm still not where I need to be.
But give yourself credit for where you came from, because I know a lot of women, we like to downplay ourselves. Like me, I be like, dang, God, I still ain't got this. But when you reflect on last year, you know we're mentally in that state of mind. For one, you're no longer in that living arrangements. For two, so you have to give yourself credit for how far you came. Because us as women, we are mothers, we're nurturers, we're co-workers, we're aunts, we're so many things that we forget to be us. Embrace the you, embrace the woman in you, and polish it. Discover what's in you and just polish it. So I mean,
and that's what I'm doing every day, and I'm so grateful for it. Like every day, I'm just working on trying to be a better person. And again, this podcast has encouraged me so much because I feel like, oh my God, I can have people talk to people and hear what they have to say, and have other people hear what they have to say. You know, like I get so encouraged when people listen to my episodes, and you know, it's always something for somebody. Somebody comes when Shayna came to me when I did the Dear Mama episode, and Shayna came to me at work, she was in tears.
Wow.
She was crying at work, and I'm not talking about just like a little shed, like like boo-hoo, and she was like, yo, Tasha, like that. It was, you know, because something somebody else is going through, you know. So this right here is just so much growth for me. It gives me so much pleasure. I'm just happy.
This is your calling, because you have to, when you learn who you are, you learn your purpose.
Right.
So you learn that what you like to do, and it's a calling. Like, this is not easy. Like, having the mindset, because you have to deal with different topics, different personalities, different people, come up with what you want to say, and then, like, it's not easy. So that fits you. So that's why I said, get what you do that fits you, and you work that thing. With nobody, if you only got one viewer, if you don't get one like, you touch that one person. Right. And the beauty of someone, see, that's why a lot of women don't like telling their stories, because they feel like only they've been through it.
No.
You're not in this by yourself.
Right.
And if you feel like you're in this by yourself, tell your story and watch how many people come after you and say, I was scared to open my mouth. And that's what
kind of all because of a man. That's what that did. You know how many women it was like, dang, that was me. I've been there. I'm going through this. You know, like, you know, and that's why I think that's where the encouragement started with that documentary. Like, Tasha, you are so much more. You know, that's where it's like, you are so much more. Find that thing you want to do. Every time somebody asks you, what do you want to do? I don't know. I have no clue. You know, and I'm getting there, and it's just great.
But look what you had to go through to get there. Right. So that's why they said count it all joy. Yes. Count it all joy, because soon as you get over your pain, as soon as you get over what you've been through, I've learned to not take it personal. Because if I take it personal, I'm gonna make it all about me. Then I'm be mad at God. And just because your lips poke like God, that don't move God. Right. He don't move any faster because you mad at him. Right. He's still God. He's the same as he was then than he is now. And so basically what you have to do is not take things personal. Get over you. And once you get over you and your embarrassment, remember, your story is your story, and you're able to freely tell it to others. Just like on All About a Man, I was like, I've been working with this girl, and she been through all this. Yes, girl. And that's the beauty of it.
And that's just not even the beginning, but
I felt like you had some more to say and some more to talk about. I was like, Tasha did not dig deeper. I want to hear the end result, and it was because you didn't know your own strength. And people ask God, well, we're the weaker vessels, and man, why God put so much on us? Because he knew we could handle it. Because he knew that you would be on that screen telling your story and not be embarrassed about it. Right. Because how are you going to drag your daughter out if you don't tell her what you've been through? Right. So don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to be you. And embarrassment ain't even a key word in with me. How can you be embarrassed? That's your story. Exactly. And if God chose you to go through hell for them, let me go through hell. If God chose me to go through that dysfunction relationship of this guy telling me sex is a deal breaker, for me to bring somebody else out to be, you know what, I'm going to try that celibacy road, because my desire and my prayer is to God to send me my husband. Right. That's what I want. And I know we joke around a lot, but I really don't know a lot about, intercourse or whatever. And I tell people jokingly, I'm like, I feel like God is making me wait for my husband. I'm supposed to experience that with him. Right. That's why I don't know that move. Or that's why I don't do that. Because it's for my husband. Right. So, yeah. Well,
girl, so my ending quote for this is, don't be ashamed of your story, because it will inspire others. So guys, speak up. Again, you're listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. If anybody have any stories they want to share, anything they want to talk about, hit me up on the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom at gmail.com or on Instagram, the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. I love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Toodles. Bye.